Have you guys noticed that a lot of crypto projects are beginning to migrate onto the base network? I mean, that makes a lot of sense given that Coinbase is actually backing this network. Now, I know you guys are familiar with the Binance Smart Chain and its token BNB, and you guys know how big that network is. I think the base network is Binance Smart Chain when it was just beginning. And the craziest thing is, the base network doesn't even have an official token at this current moment. And I can only imagine how um how bullish it will be for the network if it did launch its own token and how crazy high the price will go. Now, that's not the topic at hand, but I just wanted to let you guys know how bullish I am on the base network. Now, what we will be talking about is this project called LightLink. And I've been talking about it for quite some time now on my channel, on Twitter X, and any other social media that I'm in. And you guys know that it's a microcap project with a lot of potential. And it recently announced in September this month that it is now available on the base network, right? And also, it migrated, or not migrated, but it listed its NFT collections on the Rarible marketplace, which we all know is quite reputable. Now, Lightning is partnered with Rarible, and while I still haven't been able to dig up the fine details of that partnership, what I think is going on is that Lightlink is will be facilitating interoperable NFTs, possibly processing transactions that are gasless for the customers of the Rarible platform. And also, Lightlink will likely help build or power the loyalty rewards for Rarible. But that's just my speculation. So before we get started, if this is the type of information that you guys like to hear, then do me a quick favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and you guys can expect more content like this in the near future. Now, on the 1st of September, Lightning posted on Twitter a voting poll, right? And it told you guys, hey, something big is about to drop on Lightlink this week. Any guesses? And then we were allowed to vote in between within four different options. One of them was a major tech upgrade. The second one was a new community play. The third is governance and action, and the last option was surprise collab, right? And that was on September 1st. So I'm not gonna lie, I just voted whichever option just to see the percentages. And as you guys can see, I clicked on surprise collab. Now, if we skip over to the next tweet that they posted, Lightning stated, the team is locked in for a massive week ahead. Coffee supply already running low, right? And then finally on September 3rd, Lightning posted, surprise collab already live with Rarible. Major tech upgrade. Looks like you were also right. Drop your guesses. Okay, so Lightning, they kind of played a trick on us, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's actually it was a good thing for sure because it had us thinking that only one thing was going to go down that week, but actually they surprised us with two different developments. Now, of course, I already mentioned the the migration to the base network was one of them, and also the deployment of their NFTs on the Rarible market was the second thing. And as you guys can see here, Rarible tweeted, "You can now trade Lightlink NFTs at light speed. Lightning Chain has arrived to the new Rarible, an Ethereum Layer 2 making blockchain simple." And again, If you're not familiar with LightLink, it is a layer two. It's abstracting the complex functionalities and just making it easier for Web 2 users to hop onto Web 3 and make crypto transactions, purchase NFTs, and just operate in a space without having to dealing with seed phrases, which will be become available once the Beacon Wallet gets launched, right? And that's supposed it's supposed to be coming out uh, shoot this Q3. So we have till September 30th or 31st, however many days we have in this month. And there was a recent AMA with the Lightning team, and I believe it was Roy Hui or Dan Enright who stated that the Lightlink Beacon Wallet is being worked on and everything is seems to be on track. But again, we have about 10, 11 days before uh, they at least make the announcement of the Beacon Wallet. If the team does follow the roadmap, so that we shall see, guys. But now let's go ahead and look at another tweet by Lightlink that kind of talks about this migration, right? And they say, listen up, Lightning holders, we're making one of our biggest steps forward yet. Our token is getting faster transfers, DAO governance with the Aragon project and multi-chain access via Layer Zero Core, plus the base network and Stargate Finance. And that honestly, I think that's a great thing. They've been hooked up with Layer Zero and Stargate Finance for some time. There's a lot of liquidity there, so that's a smart move on Lightlink's behalf. I'm really bullish on that. So they continue their post by saying or asking why the upgrade. We're moving to a new token standard to unlock faster bridging across chains, enable DAO voting and governance, and also boost utility in DeFi and partner ecosystems. And they tell us a couple more things that we'll cover in a bit. So let's continue and take a look here. So let's make our way to the actual Lightning website, right? Because I believe Lightning, just like a lot of projects in the crypto space, they are going to try to deliver the best they can for this by the middle before the ending of Q4, so that they wrap up a good year. And who knows? Maybe we'll have a bull run uh, by Christmas. I mean, who knows, right? This is not financial advice, but it's uh, it's a good thing for Lightning to be making these developments, because if you guys can see how everything is lining up, they're trying to get their DeFi space ready by having the Beacon wallet and also having their DAO, right, through governance and everything. So let's check this out real quick. So they tell us Lightlink unveils its new LL token, replacing the LL legacy with faster transfers, DAO governance, and multi-chain support across Ethereum, Lightlink, and Base. Discover what this change means for the community. So yeah, as of today, Lightlink is available in three different networks. That is the Ethereum, the Lightlink, and the Base network. And I think the fourth network will be Binance Smart Chain. But that's just my opinion. Now let's continue with the article. The Lightlink ecosystem has undergone a major change that defines how our community participates in changing the network's future. We introduced a new LL token built on Layer Zero's omni-chain fungible token standard, replacing the LL legacy token previously used on the Lightlink network. This migration is more than a technical update. It unlocks a modern governance framework, enables near instant cross-chain transfers, and extends LL to multiple networks, laying the foundation for a more connected, community driven future. The LL token, and I keep this in mind, guys, because this is important. A lot of people in the Lightning community are confused about this. So this breaks it down, right? Who needs to migrate, right? If you're holding your tokens on the Lightning network and you haven't migrated them to the new standard, then you literally need to do it, right? There's no deadline. You could do it at any time. Uh, you know, that's per the Lightning team. But however, if your LL tokens are on the Ethereum network, you know, then nothing has to be done on your part, right? Because that network did not change. The only network that got an update was the Lightning mainnet, and so that's just to clear up uh, the confusion, right? So, for example, I bought a couple LL tokens on the Uniswap, uh, using the Uniswap on the Ethereum network. So those tokens are fine. I don't have to migrate them at all, right? So that's good to know for anybody in the Lightning community. So shout out to the Lightning community. A lot of people say that the community is botted, and I used to think so as well, right? Because of the type of postings that I see on Twitter. But it turns out that a lot of these people are real individuals, and I actually got to listen to some of them ask questions on the most recent Lightning AMA. So shout out to the Lightning community and also the team for sure, for sure. So now let's take a look here on the website. Now, they're telling us here why the old system needed an upgrade, and that is because before this upgrade, the old LL legacy token on the Lightning Network operated as a bridge version of the LL token deployed on the Ethereum network. The bridge used a traditional mint and burn mechanism where LL tokens were locked on Ethereum and minted on Lightning were bridged in, then burned on Lightning, right? So they're telling us that it was a little complicated. This process was a little complicated, and it could actually, let's say, if you wanted to bridge your tokens from Ethereum to Lightning or vice versa, that could literally take up to 24 hours, right? And it actually limited governance participation because, um, for example, if your tokens were on the Ethereum network, but you want to vote on the future DAO that's coming out, you will have to migrate your tokens from Ethereum to Lightning to vote, right? So that's already um, one barrier entry. Then the second barrier entry is that you will have to wait at a maximum of 24 hours. So you might not get to vote in time, right? So what this new update did is now instead of migrating from Ethereum to Lightning in 24 hours, it literally takes 3 to 4 minutes. So that's why the upgrade was needed, right? And another thing is uh, through the Aragon DAO framework, you can now. Well, I think I'm skipping a little bit. I'm skipping a point, but let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. So, for example, the the Aragon DAO and the token voting is now will allow you to vote in the DAO for Lightning, no matter which network you're in. So, for example, let's say I'm holding my Lightning tokens on the Ethereum network. My friend over here is holding his Lightning tokens on the base network, and then my other friend is holding his tokens on the Lightning mainnet. None of us have to migrate our tokens to a specific network to vote because through this upgrade, all of us from even though we're sitting on different islands, different networks, we can all vote and still we can all vote no matter which network we're on, right? So we can all participate. So that's a pretty good idea, right? So no matter where you're holding your tokens, which network you're on, you still hold the same value. So that's pretty great. Now, there's a special considerations for different token holders. Like I said, if you're on the old Lightning mainnet, you got a bridge. But here's something that really stood out to me, right? And this bullet point reads: institutional holders and integration partners. We provide dedicated support to ensure a smooth transition with no disruption to operations. Now that really got me scratching my head, right? Because I mean, I'm not an institutional holder. I'm retail, and I'm also not an integration partner. So why would I care on what the process is? And I do care. I want to know, what the process is actually. But does this mean like that there's actual institutions holding the Lightning token? Like that really made me think. Like, why would Lightning post this on their website? So now I know that the Lightlink and the Peddler Technology team have connections with banks. Obviously CP Group, that's an investment bank. It has connections to the Australia government. And heads up, this October, there should be a huge update or a huge announcement from the Lightning team and Project Acacia, right? That is the Australian government, their central bank, and a couple more organizations working on this huge pilot, like 25 different pilots. And so far, the two crypto projects involved are Hedera Hashgraph and also the Red Belly Network. But the CEO and co-founder of the Lightlink team did come out in the Telegram and announce that Lightlink or Pellet Technology. I'm not sure. He was very vague, but he said that they will be participating in Project Acacia. So again, that is that is like some that is alpha that's not available on Twitter. It's only on Telegram. I haven't seen it anywhere else. So it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. But hey, this ain't financial advice. But yeah, there seems to be some institutional holders, participants holding Lightlink that might even take place or hold a place in the Lightning DAO, right? So that's pretty big. Now, let's read a little bit about this ecosystem integration and base expansion. Lightning posted, we're working closely with dApps, DeFi platforms, and integration partners to ensure LL is supported across the ecosystem. Base was chosen as our next deployment after Ethereum and Lightning because it offers access to a growing DeFi and builder ecosystem, low transaction costs for end users, strong alignment with Ethereum security and infrastructure, and additional liquidity pathways for LL holders. This expansion means you can now bridge LL between Ethereum, Lightlink, and the base network quickly and securely, right? So here's a tweet, talking about the Lightlink and base integration. And oh boy, I forget which date this was posted on, but Lightlink posted sometime in September by stating liquidity is just a start. Centralized exchanges integrations are next. Experience transfers, faster transfers, DAO governance, and multi-chain freedom. Full details, and we kind of just went over them a few minutes ago. But I mean, if you look at the screen, I had to highlight the sex integrations because I mean, what's next? They expanded onto the base network. Could we possibly have a Coinbase listing in the future? Sheesh, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. But I mean, the more listings that Lightning has, the better because it will get more exposure to more investors, more communities, and of course, yeah, we're here on YouTube trying to cover Lightning to its extent. We're not blindly shilling this project. We're all we do is bring verifiable research that hypes the project, right? So I'm not trying to sell you guys a dream. I'm not trying to sell you guys a rug pull. All I'm simply doing is sharing information that you guys could verify for yourselves. And as the ultimate um, CEO of your own portfolio, your own investments, you guys make that decision on your own. So again, this is not financial advice. Well, let me show you guys here on the Lightlink website that they actually do have a bridge available that you could take your Lightning tokens on the Ethereum network and migrate them to Base, and vice versa, and even send them to the Lightning mainnet. Now, you guys, like I said, Lightlink is trying to accelerate the DAO, right? Which gives us a role in the governance, right? So with the DAO, there'll be initial proposals set, for governance. You'll be able to suggest certain things such as vote on proposals from any supported chain. You'll be able to create detailed proposals with multiple actions, as you know, as long as you meet the minimum threshold. So, for example, if they say, "Hey, if you want to vote in this DAO, you need to hold at least 50,000 coins, right? If you have those 50,000 coins and over, you're free to vote. But if you don't, then hey, you really can't participate, right? You can also delegate your voting power to trusted community members. So that's interesting. So it seems like, hey, if I have a friend that I trusted with my vote, I think that he's a knowledgeable person, and it seems like I could give that person my vote so he could vote in my behalf. Right. And then also you could participate in governance discussions throughout the forum, which I know it's already available, but again, it's not so active. And then as it goes back to the cross-chain governance that I told you guys about, you guys could be holding on the Ethereum network, the Lightning network, or also the Base network, and you should be able to vote, with the same voting power. So that's about it, guys. It looks like LightLink is trying to spice things up. They gave us two developments within the same week: the base network migration and also the deployment of the NFT collections on the Lightning network, which are now available on Rarible. And again, Rarible and Lightning are partners for uh, reasons that are still a mystery to me. But I suppose that outside of the NFT collections being there, I think there's loyalty points involved, and also uh, fast and fast transactions, gasless transactions. So that's it, guys. If you guys like this video, do me a quick favor, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for tuning in. Remember that God is good, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.